Hi there. So everybody's always asking me how to make my vegan raw protein balls, apart from my daughter who thinks they are looking unpleasant, but everybody else loves them. So I'm going to show you today how to make them. So I just basically get everything out my cupboard that's really healthy and is going to be good for protein balls. So I always start with gluten-free oats. Obviously, if you are okay with gluten, you can have normal oats. But it's good to have gluten-free oats anyway, because gluten is a substance that we can't digest very well and will get sort of stuck in the digestive system, and it makes it harder for other food to be digested because you have this little layer of gluten. So cut out gluten as much as you can. It's really good for digestive issues, whether you're celiac or intolerant or not. So I just did 2 cups. You don't need one of these measuring cups, you can just have a normal cup. But I did 2 cups of those. And then I like to put in pumpkin seeds. So where you can use organic, but if you haven't got organic stuff, that's fine. But if you can use organic, these are just from Tesco. So I'm just chucking in a load of pumpkin seeds, and I love pumpkin seeds, so I put in quite a lot. And then I'm obviously dairy free, so I use cashew milk. Some of you I know love the Oatly Barista, but again, because I'm gluten free, I can't drink too much of that. So I have cashew, which is really nice and creamy, and even people that are not dairy free generally love cashew milk. Even my daughter said she liked it. So that is something. So yeah, if you haven't tried cashew milk, give that a go. So I'm matching up the cups of milk. So if you just did 1 cup of gluten-free oats, then you're just going to do 1 cup of milk. So I'm matching that up. I like to put raisins in. If you like raisins, you can put raisins in as well. So these are raw protein balls, but I do cook them. So I've put the oven on already on about 170 before I've started, and I have got a baking tray with baking paper on so that they don't stick. So that's the 2 things I've done to start. I am going to put in mixed seeds with flax and chia. So this is ground, and this is just a mix from Tesco. So, you know, if you haven't got any of these ingredients at home, don't worry. I would just basically make sure I've got the gluten-free oats in, the milk, and some kinds of seeds. But yeah, if you haven't got the crushed up ones, that's okay. Just use what you've got. So each time I make these, they'll be different depending on what I've got at home. Then cacao nibs. So this is not cocoa, this is cacao, full of magnesium. This is a superfood, so this is what comes from the start of sugar. Smells so good. These are just from Tesco's actually. So I normally get a big bag online, which is obviously cheaper. But I'm going to put in quite a big cup full of cacao because it's such a good superfood for us. And when we crave chocolate, because actually by the time we get the chocolate, it's been mixed with dairy and sugar, there's not really much left of the original goodness. So if you really crave chocolate, get yourself some cacao instead and put that in. I've just got some normal chia seeds here. I haven't had time to soak them, so if you've got any digestive issues, really good to soak the chia seeds overnight before you use them. I'm just going to put a few in today. And then for me, cinnamon. Ground cinnamon is great because it gets the digestive system going. It's full of heat. You know, it's something that they use in Ayurveda and nutrition a lot. So, you know, I love cinnamon, so I'll put cinnamon in these. I put it on my like granola and yogurt and stuff with fruit. So whack in the cinnamon. We'll give it a nice taste, and again, creates heat in the body. Great for our digestive systems. All of that. I'll put in salt. So you might think that's a bit strange, but actually we've been told for a long time that we have too much salt, which is maybe true if we eat a lot of processed foods, but a lot of us don't these days, and we still don't add salt in. And salt, like magnesium, is essential for our systems, our bodies to function properly, for our energy to be created. There's a cellular exchange that happens every day in the body with salt and calcium, potassium, magnesium. So really important to have salt. So I'm going to whack in Himalayan rock salt, which is pink. And this is the best salt you can have. When you get your sea salt, which I know a lot of you use, it's white, so that means it's been bleached. So it's not natural. This is naturally pink, and this salt has an amazing cellular exchange on the body. So some people, you might have heard of Sole, where you put your salt in water and make it as part of a drink. So yeah, if you're making smoothies as well, if you like smoothies or protein shakes, again, add some Himalayan rock salt in. Really good for you, really beneficial. So now I'm adding in almond butter. So I use 2 pots because I'm making quite a big batch, and I've used 2 cups of gluten-free oats. So if you're using that much oats, then you definitely need to add in 2 cups of the almond butter. I just used 1 the other week, and it was just way too dry, all of this. So it's still stuck together, but it just didn't have the right consistency that I wanted for the protein balls, because you want them to taste nice as well as be really healthy and full of goodness. And you know, and if you are plant-based or vegan, you know, you need to take more care to get protein. I think a lot of us need to take more care anyway to make sure we have enough protein in our diet. So whether you're plant-based or vegan or not, this is a really good snack for you. So you know, you can have these mid-morning. I make these on my yoga retreats. We have them before breakfast, before we do our first yoga class, and we have them like as snacks. And when I'm doing my women's circles, which I've got this evening, we'll have some delicious protein balls as snacks. So you're getting so much goodness in these. Nothing is really processed apart from the almond butter and the cashew milk, really. Everything else is pretty much as it should be. And then just going to mix it all together. So I've just got absolutely loads in here. If you find that it's not sticking, or you know, the mixture isn't sort of coming together as you might want it to, put in some more almond butter or some more milk. But yeah, as I say, last week I made one that didn't have enough butter in, and so it was a little bit too dry for me. If it's too dry and you've made them, you can always put maple syrup on them afterwards, so that's quite nice. Obviously that's sugar, and if you're wanting to stay really sugar-free and don't want any additional things like that, then you wouldn't use that. If you're not vegan or plant-based, then you could also put some honey on the top as well at the end. But yeah, just give it a really good mix up, because this mixing is crucial. And once you've mixed it all up and it's looking like it's a good consistency and stuck together, you don't actually have to cook these at all. But I really like to just put them in the oven no more than 10 minutes so that they don't dry out. And then you're just going to get a really nice finish. They'll stay together. And once they're cooked, then I just lift them up on the baking paper from the tray, and then I just put them in, I've got a little tin I put them in, still in the baking paper, but you're just going to put them in an airtight container and then put them in the fridge, and they will last in the fridge for a couple of weeks. So if you want to make loads of them, then you can do a really big batch, and you just maybe do like 3 scoops of oats and 3 cups of water and maybe 3 almond butter pots, and then just add in your ingredients on top. So that's looking like it's a pretty good mix. And then I'm literally just going to get a spoon, scoop out a small ball, and I just make a little one like that and put it on the baking tray. So you can see on this baking tray, I'll make about 12 or 15, sometimes 18. So you just fill up the whole tray with your little protein balls. Put them in the oven. I definitely recommend that for about 10 minutes, and maybe 160, 170. and then pop them in your tin, and you've got a whole tray of goodies for another week or two. So really simple. Get all the good stuff out the cupboard, chuck it in. Almond butter, milk and oats are your basis for the foundation of it, keeping it all together, and throw in what seeds. You can put nuts in. I haven't put nuts in today. Raisins, cacao nibs, whatever you want. But yeah, that's my secret recipe. Hope you enjoy.